Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and staying home to keep yourself safe from COVID-19. Students, here we are going to start the chapter 17 of your social science. In this chapter, mainly we are going to study about the fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and the directives principles of the state policy. And in this module, we will cover fundamental rights of Indian citizens. So let us begin, students. Introduction. You have read in the previous chapter about the basic structure and elements of the Indian Constitution. As our Constitution chapter, you studied about the different basic features of Indian Constitution. Our Constitution framers had tried to transform ideals given in the preamble. Ideals means that is the best suited to the Indian people. Given in the preamble into reality, and that would not have been possible without gaining some fundamental rights. Unless we have some fundamental rights, the ideals given in the preamble cannot be achieved without any discrimination. So, after a long period of slavery and exploitation at the hands of the Britishers, people aspired, people wanted for a life where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where education is free for all, where every citizen has the freedom of religion and faith, where the sole aim of government is welfare of the people, especially of the downtrodden. Downtrodden, those people who could not develop in the fast developing process. We will study about those provisions of the Indian Constitution which help us to achieve our goals and fulfill our aspirations. Fundamental rights. The fundamental rights were included in the Constitution because they were they were considered essential for the development of the personality of every individual and preserve human dignity, the respect, the people, self respect is of no use unless the people have some rights. These fundamental rights are an essential element of every democratic country. Since we were denied most of the civil and political rights by the British, one of the most important aspirations of the people was that they should have some basic rights which cannot be violated by anyone. Therefore, the Constitution of India provides six fundamental rights. Let us discuss those six fundamental rights. First one is right to equality. In this right to equality, there is equality before law. In the eyes of law, each and every individual in the society is equal. Whether the person is very poor or very rich, the person belongs to any religion, belongs to any caste, belongs to any gender, that all are equal before the law. Prohibition of discrimination on ground of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. So these, on any ground there should not be discrimination, that is strictly prohibited by the constitution. Equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Wherever the government is providing the employment opportunity, there will be equality. There will be no discrimination on ground of these religion, race, caste, sex and place of birth. Equality before law is already discussed here. Abolition of untouchability. Untouchability is a concept where the people exclude some of the races from the society benefits, social benefits, like some so-called upper caste people in the society in ancient period or in the past were not allowing the people, the lower caste people, the facilities which they had. Even the drinking water facilities were not allowed to get from the well from where the upper caste people were getting that water. So such kind of practice in the society refers as a untouchability. So this is totally abolished by this right to equality. Abolition of titles. No one will be given the different titles that uh, people were having, different titles that Maharaj and the Jamidars Sahab, the Babu Sahab, that kind of any titles will not be valid according to this right to equality. Right to freedom. Here in this right to freedom there are seven aspects has been discussed. That freedom of speech and expression. Each and every individual in the society, in the country, is free to speak and express his or her views as per his desire, but that should not harm the social peace and national security. Freedom of assembly peacefully and without arms. The people in the society can assemble anywhere, can gather anywhere peacefully and without arms and ammunition. Freedom to form associations and unions. There is a freedom given to the people that they can form association, they can form the different groups, unions for fighting for their rights. Freedom is given to move freely throughout the territory of India. The Indian citizens are free to move anywhere of the country, anywhere, any part of the country. All the states are free for all to move anywhere. Right to peaceful gathering. This peaceful gathering is up to some extent discussed here only, that assemble peacefully and without arms. So gathering is done. You know that sometime a huge gathering is done during the election campaign for different protest by the people. So such kind of gathering, if that is not harming anybody and that is done peacefully, so that is legal and that is fully allowed by the rule. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of India. Earlier that Jammu and Kashmir was restricted from this kind of freedom, but now that also has been opened, and now each and every state is free for all to reside anywhere as per their need and requirement. It doesn't mean that you can reside anywhere wherever you want without any kind of restriction. Of course, you have to buy land property there and then you can reside there, but there is no restriction that the person is coming from that particular state and cannot live in that another state. So such kind of restrictions are not existing now. Freedom to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, business. As before independence, the Indian society made these professions hereditary. Now, by the rule in this right to freedom and the rule given in the constitution, that right to that hereditary right over different occupations has been abolished, and now the person can follow any kind of occupation and trade or business as per his need and requirement and desire. Now, right to freedom also include the following provisions like protection in respect of conviction for an offense. If any person has convicted means had done something wrong, any offense has been committed, so that person is also protected from the person who can harm the person. Another one, protection of life and personal liberty. Each and everyone is free to protect his or her life and liberty, that freedom. It is our right that we can save our life, and for saving our life we can reach to any extent if and when required. Protection against arbitrary arrest and detention. If any all of sudden there is any kind of arrest arrangement is done by the police department, so there is also a right to freedom that you cannot be arrested without a valid reason. Right to education, and now this right to education has become part of this right to freedom, that each and every has this opportunity that free and compulsory education is there for all up to the age of 14 years. As this right to education was included in the constitution in 2002 for the first time as a fundamental right. According to this, the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years, as we discussed in the previous module. Now, do you know in August 2017, a 9 judge bench headed by Chief Justice of India unanimously arrived at the landmark verdict declaring right to privacy as a fundamental right. Right to privacy is a fundamental right. Now, student, you know that this privacy is each and everyone's fundamental right, and you can raise voice against such privacies. For example, nowadays you have WhatsApp service, so you have this right to privacy right, and that is why your privacy is secured by the company, that WhatsApp company, that is not revealed before others, and that is because of this right to privacy. Right against exploitation. Prohibition of traffic in human being. Traffic in human being is students mean selling and buying of human being. All forms of forced labor and begar. Forced labor means bound laborers activities that badhua mazduri and begar work without payment. Sometime the work is taken without payment from some people forcefully. So these things are not allowed and the people have right against such kind of exploitation. They can raise voice in court before police department if such kind of exploitation is done with anybody in the society. Now, prohibition of employment of children below the age of 14 years. In our country, as up to the age of 14 years, there is provision of free and compulsory education. That is why the government is not allowing, the constitution is not allowing that children below the age of 14 years can not be hired for such factory, mine, and hazardous occupations. Right to freedom of religion. Freedom of conscience and right to profess, practice, and propagate any religion. So, such kind of right is there to everybody that they can choose religion of their own choice, can practice religion of their own choice, or don't follow any of the religion as per their desire. There is no restrictions from the government side, from the constitution, from the law that you should have such particular religion. Means country has no religion. It is up to you. You follow which religion. You belongs to any religion and you want to have another religion. It is up to you. You can choose. Freedom to every religious institution to manage its own affairs in matters of religion. There is some relaxation given to some religious institution that they can manage their own affair, they can propagate their own religion, they can motivate to the people to follow their religion, but they cannot force to the people. State will not collect any tax for promotion of any particular religion. Government cannot promote any kind of religion. No religious instructions can be imparted in any educational institution. Religious educations are prohibited in different schools, which is wholly or partially maintained by the state fund, maintained out of the state fund. If the government is anyway involved in that school, the school cannot provide religious education. Means religious education only can be provided by the some religious institutions which are privately owned and run by some communities, some individuals. Cultural and educational rights. It guarantees to preserve, maintain, and promote one's culture and language. So this way, each and everyone has this cultural and educational right to preserve and promote their particular culture. The minority will be given assistance by the state to establish and administer educational institutions of their own to preserve and develop their culture. Means The minorities will be given some assistance, some helps by the state to establish, to administer, to control the educational institutions by the minorities of their own, and they can preserve and develop their culture. So this minority is given some relaxation in such kind of educational practice. Otherwise, government is not going to have such practices. Right to constitutional remedies. The Constitution of India has not only listed fundamental rights but has also prescribed remedies. Remedies means solutions against violation. If a citizen feels that one of his or her fundamental right has been violated by an executive order, by any government order, she or he may request the Supreme Court, High Court to issue the appropriate writ. Writ is a kind of appeal to the court for restoration of her or his right. The writs are named here: habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, and certiorari. The fundamental rights protect the citizens against misuse of power by the government or some institutions or individuals. So fundamental rights are protecting us from this kind of misuse of power by government or some particular institutions or individuals. Therefore, the fundamental rights are justiciable and protected by court. Court is protecting it. Court is helping us that anyway our rights cannot be harmed. In case a fundamental right is violated, one can move to the court of law and seek justice. But our fundamental rights are not absolute or unlimited. That means whatever right has been given, we should not think that is unlimited and we can go to any limit. The Constitution has imposed certain restrictions to check abuse, misuse of these rights. Besides, the state is allowed to impose some reasonable restrictions in the interest of public order, decency, morality. So on these basis, state government or the government is allowed some control over these fundamental rights. Means we have fundamental right. Of course, that fundamental rights are protected by constitution, by court, but that has certain limit and we cannot cross that certain limit. Means that should not harm anybody else, that should not go against national security, that should not harm the social peace, social harmony. Now, these five reads here explain what are these five reads, as here mentioned that all these five reads, that the power of issuing writs is given to the Supreme Court to ensure the enjoyment of rights by people and to restore their rights in case of any violation. The five writs are there. Habeas corpus, which means an unlawfully detained person may be produced before the court to find out whether the detention was legal or not. Means prohibited or any kind of restrictions imposed on anybody. Such restrictions are legal or not for the person. It is the most valuable right for the protection of personal liberty. So it is protecting our liberty. Mandamus is issued when a public servant has failed to perform a duty. These writs are filed. In such case, the court orders the concerned official to perform the duty not performed earlier. So this way, this mandamus writ is helping to the people. If any public servant fail to perform the duty, and by this writ, the person is asked by the court to perform the duty. Prohibition means to prohibit or forbid. What to forbid? This writ is normally issued by a superior court to the lower court asking it not to proceed with a case which does not fall under its jurisdiction. According to this prohibition, the Supreme Court is or Superior Court is asking to the lower court that they should be in their limit. They should not hear any kind of court cases which does not come in their jurisdiction. Quo warranto is issued to restrain a person from acting in public office to which she or he is not entitled. Here, meaning of restrain is sanyam, means have patience, have control, the quality of behaving in a calm and controlled way. So in this way, the person from acting in public office wherever the person is there, so there should be peacefully the person should work. Certiorari means to be more fully informed of. If a superior court wants some additional information or records from lower court to enable itself to deal with the case more effectively, this writ may be issued for the lower court, and this way the upper court, the superior court, will get the required information from the lower court because of this writ. Restrictions on fundamental rights. There are some restrictions. What are these restrictions? Having studied the six fundamental rights, we should remember one very important point about all of them, that they are not absolute, means they are not full rights. They are given under some limitations. It means that some restrictions are imposed upon them to safeguard interest of entire community. That communities should not be harmed anyway. Certain limitations are necessary for meaningful enjoyment of these rights. Because if freedom is given the and no limitation is there, the person may cross the limit and may harm other people because of such kind of freedom. That is why there are some limitations. However, these restrictions or limitations should be reasonable and in the interest of public order, morality, sovereignty, and integrity of India. Here are some examples where, where restrictions imposed are justified, like to prevent spread of infectious disease. The free movement of people can be restricted as nowadays in the pandemic. Now you know the student, this coronavirus disease is running, and because of this pandemic, the Free movement of the people are highly restricted, and you can experience currently that thing is happening. This right to freedom is under control at present. The people are not free to move anywhere as per their need. Freedom to practice any profession does not mean to take up gambling, smuggling, hoarding, or any other profession which is injurious or hazardous to the society. So such kind of freedom is not allowed to the people, which is anyway harming the society. Nobody can come to be a doctor, claim to be done. Nobody claim to be a doctor or a lawyer unless he has the essential qualification. Because a doctor is treating the patient, and there is a very sensitive issue that health of a person is can be harmed, means the health of a person can be harmed if it will be treated by untrained people, untrained doctor, and that way this is not good for the society. Freedom of expression does not mean to speak or write anything you feel like. Freedom of expression doesn't mean that whatever you want to speak you can speak, and you should not have any limit of speaking. Of course there should be some limit, some morality, some limitations. So any thought or expression that disturb public peace, harmony, or instigate communal violence will not be allowed. So this way, these are some restrictions put over our fundamental rights, and of course these are justified, and we have to follow these restrictions. So this was all about a student. Now time to see the homework. The question A, B and C from your textbook you will do that MCQ type question, then the fill in the blanks, the true false or any term is there. So A, B and C part you have to, and D the short answer questions type also you try to find out the answer, try to write in your rough copy, and afterward when I will share the solution you will match, and then you will write in your fair copy. So this was all about today's topic, students. We'll meet in the next module. Till then, bye bye all of you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep smiling.